about like extra 5 minutes to let others join us. This is 9:05, and once it's 9:10 we will start. Hi, the strategic lawyer, funny Lizzie, lawyer that is my first online person tonight. Hello, learned friend. So, hello guys. Let's just wait for people to tune in. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Facebook is Business and Legal Structure Facebook group, and this is the Instagram Business and Legal Structure group. So let's just chill and let us just wait for people to tune in while I try to check out some things. Okay. I like this filter.
Sweet Jesus, you're the eyes that I see. Sweet Jesus, yes, I've danced to your tune. For as the deer pants for water, so my soul longs for you. Forever and ever, yes, my heart beats for you. For as the deer pants for water, so my soul longs for you. Forever and ever, yes, my heart beats.
Funny. Try to chill out. Wow. Don't mind me. I'm just trying my hands on different filters. It's almost 9:10. I really don't know what I look like on this one.
Jesus is more than gold, more than gold, more than gold. I've got something more than gold. I'll tell it to the world. Jesus is more than gold, more than gold, more than gold. I've got something more than gold. I'll tell it to the world. Jesus is more than gold. It's such an honor that you call me your
2 more minutes and we will start.
Your love is unchangeable, keeps coming after me. Shepherd of my heart, I love how you love me. Yeah. Treasure of my soul, I stand in awe of you. As the deer thirsts for water, so my soul longs for you. Forever and ever, yes, my heart beats for you. As the deer thirsts for water, so my soul longs for you, Jesus. Forever and ever, yes, my heart beats for you. Something more than gold. I've got something more than silver. Something more than life. I've got something more than riches. If all I got
Okay, guys, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday, everyone. Okay, I'm just trying to see my Facebook screen and I'm wondering what is that thing. Okay, I think it's the filter. I'm JJC in this thing. Let me just leave my face the way it should be on Instagram. No filter, no nothing. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. How do they sing that song? Ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see you guys on Facebook, on Instagram. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you so much. So, welcome to another live section with Lawyer Precious. Someone asked me recently, okay, so why are we having live section with Lawyer Precious and no more Law Talk series? It's still the same Law Talk series, so it's still the same live section. The cocoa, the main thing is that we get to discuss and I get to pass the information I need to pass. You get to ask questions and get responses. Free legal advice, right? So welcome, guys. Welcome to the last Saturday in the month of June. Whew. This has been a wonderful month, and like play like joke, the way they say it, I got that correctly. 2021, 50% of it is already going, or it's almost gone, because we have, I think, about let me check my calendar so that I can be absolutely sure of what I'm saying. So this week is going to end. This one is ending on Wednesday. So by Wednesday, half of 2021 is all over, and we'll be moving to the next phase of 2021. I hope you've been able to execute your project. I hope you've been able to do one or two things for yourself. So I will leave that to you to decide after tonight's live section. My name is Precious Toju. I am a Lagos-based Nigerian lawyer, specifically into business corporate practice. I'm also a recovery expert and real estate consultant, and I can gladly say that I am an accredited mediation advocate. Yes so. Another legal feather to the cap, another feather to the legal cap. So what is our official induction? Don't worry now, trust me, I will always post it online. Induction is very soon. The training is over. So tonight, just because I am super excited about my new feather to the legal cap, or on the legal cap, whichever one, I decided to just share a little bit about it to help a lot of us. It's a very interesting topic, and it is a topic I do not take lightly. It's a topic I'm going to try my best to do justice to it. Irrespective of the training, I have been involved in mediation from the day go that I started practice. So I have an ample knowledge and understanding of what mediation is all about. I just needed to get the quality to beautify whatever experience that I have. So tonight I'm going to be talking about the place of mediation in business disputes. Of course, we all know that my live section, this group is all about business and legal structure, though sometimes we got to talk about a little bit of real estate here, but it's mostly dedicated to things about business. I have another page that is totally for real estate and property and landlord and tenancy, so that we don't get to mix the tips, the hints, and the talk up. Some followers, faithful followers, that asked that I should do another page for just the real estate, so that I can easily access whatever resource they need to access. And I think that's a wonderful idea. Though I have not posted, I think, since last week. It's not easy. So welcome once again. I hope our week was wonderful. I hope our week was beautiful, and I hope that we're able to execute our projects. God will give us the grace and the wisdom to go about to be able to execute our project to the best of our knowledge. Okay, so let me dive deep into today's topic. Today I'm going to be talking with us, or we're going to be discussing about the place of mediation in business disputes. I decided to actually go talk about this tonight because hold on please. Hello. Volume. I complained earlier. Sorry about that, please. The volume is actually distracting me. Okay, so lost my line of thoughts. That's why I don't like to be distracted. So one reason I decided to talk about the place of mediation in business disputes is because being a lawyer that has been into practice from the day one, from my NYC days, I have been into practice. And when I say I've been into practice, not just corporate, I've been into core litigation practice. I started my day one as a core litigation person. I am a court person. My first appearance ever was in a court of appeal and all of that. So I have been into litigation. I have been into court practice, and because I am an advocate, I am a court lawyer, so to say. A lot of 80% of my practice for the past so many years, almost a decade, has been in practice in litigation. I have come to understand the place of mediation and appreciate the place of mediation when it comes to business disputes, when it comes to transactional or contractual transaction and issues arise. And I just decided that we need to talk about this. I'm going to be talking about it as a courtroom lawyer and as someone that has also been involved in mediation over the years, and as someone that has just been recently trained as an accredited mediation advocate. So I'm actually going to cover all the facts that you need to know about mediation and going into going into practice and being involved in business transaction. Okay, so let me just go straight to the point. What exactly is mediation? These things, in fact, I won't be surprised if in fact, if you are a non-lawyer and you have no idea what mediation is all about, you are 100% exempted, because most lawyers do not even know that they don't know what mediation is. They do not even in the legal field, the very few of us, a lot of people do not even take it seriously and all of that. I'm not going to be talking about that. So mediation basically is a process where disputants, when I say disputants, I mean people that are at loggerhead with each other, that have issues. There's a breach of contract, or there's a disagreement, or there is an annoyance somewhere. It is a process in which this disputes, this quarrels, this qualms between two parties, whether it's contractual, whether it's transactional, whatever it is, it's a process in which they try to settle this dispute in the most amicable way. So they begin to air the view. When it has to do with mediation, they begin to air the view and talk to one another, begin to say what annoys them or what annoyed them, begin to say how bad they felt when an issue started, how they felt cheated. And so they begin to air the view, and after airing the view, they now decide on their own how to resolve this issue. Now, this is a very important aspect in business and in the corporate world, in which a lot of CEOs, a lot of multinationals, and a lot of corporate entities are not taking advantage of. A lot of people, instead of trying out the mediation mechanism, they rather opt for just go straight to the courts, and they just opt for going straight to the courts and having the matter, being in court and all of that. And some would even go as far as using the police force to enforce what a contractual agreement was all about. I've had series of experience as a lawyer, and so I can tell firsthand that the thing that that you actually meet a police officer to do is just indirect mediation, which ordinarily they're not supposed to get involved in that kind of contract, but they always find a way of criminalizing or finding an iota of criminality in a contractual agreement. But that's not the bone of contention for today, or that is not what my talk is all about. My talk tonight is how you can use mediation to your advantage, how you can actually, how you can actually solve your issue among yourself, among disputants or business partners, without necessarily having to spend so much, wasting so much time on that in the process of trying to get a particular issue resolved. Now, my notes today says that mediation leaves the decision power totally and strictly to the parties. Like I said earlier on, mediation is a party-driven mechanism to solve issues between parties, between people that were in a particular relationship and something went wrong. And so, when we say it is party-driven, it is party-driven in the sense that both parties, both people that are having this issue come together, they decide what they want. It's so beautiful. Mediation is so beautiful because you do not have somebody's decision imposed on you. It is so much different from the regular court. When you go to the regular court as a person that feels cheated, if you're someone that feels cheated in a particular transaction, or you feel that your partner, your business partner, or your business financier, or whatever facilitator, or whatever the person is, the person has not done his or her own part, and then you are aggrieved. You now meet an advocate, a lawyer, a barrister, in quotes, the way we regular people call them barrister, and say, barrister, I want to sue this man. I want this man to pay for what he did. How can he take my 10 million naira and says he's going to supply me with these things, and he said he was going to supply me on the 3rd day, and I had promised my customer that they will get it on the 4th day, and 4th day passed, 5th day passed, 6th day passed, 10th day passed, and my customers were now saying I should give them my money, and they have made me to lose this customer, and he's not even returning my money, he's not even saying anything. I want to sue him to court. Now, in that instance, in that situation, when you go to court, the other party will always have a defense, because we lawyers are to we lawyers are to defend our clients. We lawyers, when a client has an issue, we try to look for solutions. So no matter how terrible you think that person's case is, the law, it's technicality. We use the technicality of the law to bring up defenses for the person. So the person will file what is called a statement of defense, and both of you will be in court. Your lawyer is going to question you, the other lawyer on the other side is going to cross-examine you. At the end of the day, both lawyers will address the courts. Both lawyers will address the courts on hi Chara Mide. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm not actually seeing my people on Facebook. I can see that you guys are joining me on Facebook, but I'm not even seeing the people. I'm not even seeing their names appearing the way it is on Instagram. I apologize. So when all of this has happened in the courtroom, now what your lawyers will now do is to address the court and tell the court on point of law why the court should favor you. Or if I am your lawyer, for example, and I am the one that helped you to sue a particular person, drag a particular person to court, at the end of the case, I will address the court on point of law, and with the fact that I've been able to, itemize and tell the court why the court should rule in my favor, in the favor of my client. The other lawyer also comes up to say, yes, my lord, you should also rule in my favor. These, that are the reasons. At the end of the day, the judge has 90 days to deliver his or her judgment. Now the judge comes and delivers his or her judgment, and you are bound by those judgments, except if you do not decide to go to court of appeal, if you're doing it from the high court and you now end up in the Supreme Court, if you are not appeased with, or you're not pleased with the decision that was made in the court. Now, in the regular courtroom, the judge decides. looked at your case, compare and contrast your case, look at the argument from your lawyers, look at the testimony that you gave in court, the judge will now decide what is the best solution, what is the best response, what is the judgment, the verdict he or she is going to give. And that verdict, you are bound by it, whether you are okay by it or you are not okay by it, until that judgment is overturned by the same court, overruled, or it is overturned by a higher court. It still remains the judgment. So in other words, when you go to a regular court, not that I am condemning regular court, I'm till tomorrow a courtroom lawyer. I have cases in court and I will still have cases in court. But at the end of the day, the judge decision is pressed down the throat of both the claimant and the defendant. But in the case of mediation, both parties are the one that will decide what is best for them. What is the best approach for them? They are excuse me please, they are the ones that will decide the best approach for them. They are the ones that will decide what exactly they feel or think is the best way out. So both parties try to shift ground. Party A moves from 100 million naira damages to a 50 million naira damages. So it is as mediation is as beautiful as that. Pardon me please. Mediation is as wonderful and beautiful as that. Now, there are a lot of advantages, a whole lot of advantages in using mediation. Now, I know somebody will be asking, how do I do mediation? How do I even go about it? I'm still going to talk about it. That's number one. And number two, I'm still going to release a new video on my YouTube channel first thing on Monday morning on how to include the place of mediation clause in your business agreements. Okay, so now mediation enables you to settle your dispute between anybody that you're having an issue with without having to tear down each other, without having to go on the social media to how do they drag the person. I was reading something when I think this week, and the person was saying, I can't remember her name, but I think it's one of the celebrity, and she was telling her success stories, and she said she remember when she was dragged on the street of Twitter, and I was like, oh, Twitter has a street. So it avoids you. What I'm saying in essence is mediation helps you avoid drama, scenes, dramatic scenarios, things that you could have easily avoided, things that you could have easily resolved, things that situations that you that would have become will I use the word caricature now? No, it's not even a caricature. Things that a situation that would have turn you to a joke, the joke of the day. We all know what the joke of the day is. Somebody posted on Facebook and say, death must kill a man. What death killed this particular person? If you are online, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to mention him. So the point is, mediation helps you to avoid all this drama. And mediation can be used for almost every matter that comes up. Oh, I said almost because there's some issues that you can actually use mediation for, but almost 90% of civil matters can actually thrive with mediation. So, in one word, mediation is party driven. Both parties are the ones to decide what they want, what they do, and they communicate it to the mediation advocate, and the person is the one that spills this thing to the person. So the place of a mediator or the place of mediation in business dispute rather, is that mediation allows you to resolve your issue by yourself, and also enables that your decision when both of you have agreed on something, when both parties have agreed that okay, this is the way out. Mr. Lagbaja, you are owing me 10 million. I have asked you to pay the 10 million with interest, because if I had done business with that 10 million, if I had done business with that 10 million, I would have earned certain amount of money. I'm asking you to pay me 50% of the 10 million naira that has been in your custody for the past 12 months. You are saying that you do not have up to 50%, 50% interest to pay me. How much interest do you have to pay me? Mr. Lagbada now says, I do not have 50%, but because I know that I have held your money for a while and I was unable to release your goods as at the time I am supposed to release your goods, and you have been a good person, you have been a nice person, instead of you to drag me to the court and do a petition against me for OBT, that is obtaining by pretense. You've been so nice to bring me to mediation. Please, can I do a 10% of the 10 million naira? And the first party says, no, you cannot do. The least I will accept is the 40%. I cannot accept 40%. Let's also do something that is workable. These are my issues. These are the challenges I'm having. These are the obstacles that I'm having. And now, so okay, the least I can go is 20%. Say, okay, I can do 20. But that 20%, can you please allow me to split it with the capital, with your main money, within 24 months? Oh, this one says, no, I cannot accept 24 months. The best I can do is 12 months. And the person says, oh, please, at the end of the day, they now decide, okay, let us do 18 months. Both parties have been able to resolve that issue using the mediation mechanism, using the mediation route of alternative dispute resolution. Now, mediation is one of the windows you can use to assess the alternative dispute resolution. When we say alternative, what we are saying in essence is, instead of you going to the courts, instead of you suing somebody or get sued by another person, you can alternatively go and use mediation. Go and go through the mediation process. And the most beautiful part of it is that whatever it is that you agree as both parties will be typed, will be put into a formal format, if English will permit me, and both of you will sign, and that thing will be endorsed, that agreement will be endorsed by the court as consent judgment. Now, all over the world, there is no other judgment that is more effective, easily enforceable. I'm speaking as a lawyer that does litigation to the core. The best judgment to execute is consent judgment. What do I mean by consent judgment? Consent judgment is simply both of you are at each other's truth. You now decide to use mediation. You say A, this Mr. B says C. The people now arrived at D. Both of you agreed. No decision was forced on you. No decision was forced on that other person. Both of you agreed. It was a convenient agreement. It was something that was doable and workable. So both of you now agree and you sign your agreement. Now it's so easy. The court now says, okay, both of you have agreed. Mr. Lagbaja, have you agreed? You say yes, my lord. Mr. ABC, have you agreed? You say yes, my lord. So it is both of you that decided that this is the way you want to resolve the issue. You say yes, my lord. And it is both of you that signed this thing. You say yes, my lord. Everything is on record. It is now endorsed. The judge now stamps it as a decision that was made in court. It is the best and the sweetest kind of judgment you can enforce. That is the place of mediation in business disputes. So as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a founder, instead of you to go to the police, because I know a lot of people do it. I am in practice, so I know what I'm saying. Instead of you to file and begin to criminalize a contractual agreement, you can use mediation. Okay, you can use mediation to solve your issue. What is the place of mediation in business disputes? Number one, let me peep at my notes. Though I know what number one is. One of the place of mediation in property disputes is, one, it allows both parties air the view. You see, one beautiful thing, if you've happened to be in a mediation section, the parties are allowed to talk as much as they want. You can shout in a moderate voice as much as you want. What I'm saying in essence is, You are allowed to air your view. You are allowed to air your grievances, the way you felt when the person breached the contract, the way you felt when the person betrayed your trust in that business. You will say it the way you are feeling it, and you are allowed an ample of time to express yourself. The mediator judge or the mediation judge is so patient. Your mediation advocate, which could be a lawyer or a non-lawyer, is so patient to listen to both parties. But my dear brother and sister, in the court of law or in the law courts, whichever one, you are not allowed to say everything that you want to say. For starters, you're going to have a pretrial conference with your lawyer, and your lawyer is going to direct you on what to say and what not to say. That is the truth, so that you will not spoil case. And then when you get into the witness box, you are in the witness box. You are sworn in, you are sworn on oath. So you either swear on the Bible or on the Quran if you're a Muslim. That alone is against some people's religious belief. Let's park that aside. When you are asked a question, you go straight to answer. There is no time for stories during the regular court proceedings. That's why it's called proceedings, and that's why mediation is called section. You are not allowed to begin to say how you married your wife, and your wife now introduced you to this your friend, and this your friend now decided that he's a business person, he needs your help. You now begin to say why do you like to help people because you're a philanthropist, blah 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 blah. Your lawyer asks you straightforward question, you answer straightforward, you give straightforward answer. The other lawyer on the other end, the other party, cross-examines you and pins you. The essence of cross-examination is to pin you to a certain response in favor of the other lawyer. And then you begin to answer. No time for stories. If I am cross-examining any witness, I don't give you space to say story. Yes or no. That is just how it works. Yes or no. I don't give you time to explain, because when you are explaining, you are spoiling the case. For those that are into litigation, you know what I'm saying. For those that have had court cases, you know what I'm saying. No chance. There was a time I was examining somebody, and the magistrate, was a magistrate court matter. He said, Mrs. Precious, please can you just slow down? The man is already, the man is already, tensed up. You understand? So that is what regular court proceedings rather does to you. But in mediation, you air your view. You are allowed to tell your story the way you feel it. Nobody's going to rush you. Nobody's going to shut you up. In a regular court, when I'm cross-examining you, I will just tell you, madam, this happened or this did not happen, yes or no. You don't explain. So the place of mediation is, you see, one thing you have to understand as a business person, and it is what I try to tell people, entrepreneurs and corporate people. You see, there is no how. There's a client that had a police matter one time, and I tried to tell him, I said, if you want to go into business, you need to have a strong mind. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to make it, you want to build a multinational company or a multi-million naira or dollar company, you've got to have a strong mind. That is one, pardon me. You have to have strong mind. And I also told the client that there is no how you're going to build a multi-million naira company without having issues. You will definitely have issues. Let's not deceive ourselves. You're going to have issues. You're going to have I was watching somebody as a friend of mine, Sharon, SO Series. I was watching one of our YouTube series, I think yesterday, and she was talking about clients from the pit, from clients from hell. See, you're going to meet all these people. So I tell people, you come to my client, I tell you need to prepare your mind for these things. It's going to happen in business. Even no matter how small your business is, even if you are selling small chops like finger foods, you're still going to have difficult clients. You're still going to have clients that will come and tell you that they paid you, that they expected a 1 million naira service for a 10,000 naira payment. So you're going to have these disputes. But the beautiful part or the beautiful thing about mediation is that it allows you to tell your story the way you want it. It allows you air your view. And like I was saying, that I told my other clients, one client of mine, that you're going to have disputes in your business transaction. You're going to make enemies and make friends. Your enemies will become your friend and your friend will become your enemy while you're running your business. But I told him one thing. Do you know the beautiful part of life and business? You cannot be as loggerhead with every disputant or with everybody you have disputes with. You're going to have dispute with somebody. You're going to have an issue with somebody over a business transaction, or that you have an issue with somebody over a business transaction does not automatically mean that you have to be as loggerhead with that person for the rest of your life, or that you have to keep malice or be an enemy to that person for the rest of your life. Because the one reason is you're going to need referrals. And you see, customers' testimony is gold in your business. So whenever you have a dispute in your business transaction, you must look for the best means to settle it amicably. And mediation is your best shot. I will tell you why. 3 main reasons. Mediation is your best shot. Because mediation will allow you to air your view. You will be in the room section. There's even a time that they will excuse you people to talk together one-on-one. There's a time the mediator is going to talk to you one-on-one and excuse you to talk to the next person one-on-one. Where will you have time to do all that one in the regular court? There's no time where you have like in one court list in one day you're having like 50, 56, 60 cases. Judge will now say wants to have time to do one-on-one with who. But my point here is, in the process of going through the mediation section, and you are allowed an ample of time to air your view, air the way you feel. You know that thing that people say, that when you speak out your mind, when you speak out your mind, you are free. You feel this little bit of peace. And then you now discover that people that went into mediation with frowning faces will come out smiling and shaking hands. And who says they cannot do business together again? They will be able to do business together again. Because now they now understand their strengths and their weaknesses, and they now know what to give this person and what not to give this other person. But for those that have been sued in courts, let me even digress a little bit. Let me go to landlord and tenancy. I'm not talking about landlord and tenancy today. Let me just go to landlord and tenancy matter. Do you know that if a landlord takes you to court as a tenant, there is no way, even while you are even going back to that house to sleep, and it's like when your landlord is living in that house, you are just feeling, you will begin to feel somehow. You will be, there are times that you will just feel, you just be feeling, some will just even hide to enter the house and hide to come out, and you understand. That is because you've been sued to court. Court is a place of battle. It's not a place of settlement. So regular court is a place of battle. I'm here to prove my case. This other person is here to prove a case. I am here. When I go to court, I go to get the best for my clients. I don't shift ground. My statement of claim, my claims are my claims. In fact, I will claim extra. My former boss, while I was still, with him, we will teach you, he will tell you it's better you have a robust statement of claim, and the court will now say, okay, I cannot grant this, than for you not to even have it at all, and then the court will not even see what to grant or under grant or partially grant. So my point exactly is that when you go to the battleground, when you go to the regular court, you are in a battleground. That is the truth of the matter. But when you are in a mediation process, you are there to resolve issues. And while you are airing your view, you're airing your grievances, you're being relieved. That is the place of mediation. Okay? So mediation will help you. Another place of mediation in business dispute will help you to, determine the weakness and the strength of your case. You know, sometimes a lot of people, like during the training that I had over the week, and the man made a statement, and I totally agree with him, because while I've done quite a number, let me not use the word a lot, but I've done quite a number of mediation section. I've actually filed for a mediation for clients, and they have filed me for mediation against my clients. So sometimes when we see that, we always feel sometimes sometimes as you file, you always feel you have a case. Yeah, there is no how I must win this case. But by the time you go through the mediation section, by the time they begin to dissecate your case, you now look at it that this is your case that you thought is strong. It's not as strong as you thought. And you just look at it that by the time you go to the regular court with the law here, the law there, the sword of the law and the rod of the law, that your client is most likely not to come out with the best results. You just let it go during mediation. You now, build on that mediation and take up whatever it is that you guys have agreed on. Okay. So another beautiful thing is about mediation is that it builds relationship after the section. Oh, there was a time I had a mediation section with one top company, and at the end of the day, we got to shift ground, and we met at the middle, and everybody was happy. At the end of the mediation section, we shook hands, we took pictures. The MD of the other company that we dragged for the mediation, okay, no, it was a court referred mediation. Sorry, we're not the one that dragged. The court referred us for mediation and just said, cancel. This thing could be settled among both parties, and they will say, okay, let us try mediation. You don't not even try. Once court refers you, it's a compulsory thing. You just have to go through the mediation section. And then by the time we're done, the MD offered to take us all of us out for a lunch. So over the lunch, we're even talking about other business opportunities. That is what mediation does for you. But regular courts, when you are coming out, sir, you have won the case. You are flaunting that you have won the case. The one beautiful thing about mediation and the place of mediation in business is that there is no winner, there is no loser. That is what I love most about mediation. There is no winner and there is no loser. Why? Because I move from this is my right, and this other person moves from this is my right too. It is our right. We could actually make it right. Let me take that again. The beautiful thing about mediation is that Mr. ABC moves from this is my right, it is my right. Mr. XYZ moves from this is my right, it is my right too. Both of them move to, let me use my hand this way, because I was doing it on the table and I felt you guys are seeing me, so obviously you guys are not seeing my hand. So this is Mr. ABC. This is my right. I have a right. You have violated my rights. I stand on my rights. I'm not going to shift ground on my rights. I feel that my right is okay. I have my right is strong, and I can pull through. I want my hand to also be like this on Instagram, the way it is on Facebook. Okay. So Mr. ABC says this is my right. Mr. XYZ, this is my right. Now they are in the mediation section now, and the mediator talks to them. The mediation advocate talks to them, and Mr. ABC moves through from this is my right to it is our right. XYZ moves to this from my right to it is our right. And they finally meet together to say what is the right thing to do. And last, this is the right thing to do. That is the place of mediation. There is no loser, there is no winner in mediation section. Everybody goes home with something after a mediation section. But in a regular court, in a litigation process, oh goodness me, if I have 10 claims against you and the court grants me 8 and says let the court let go of 2 and throws away the defense and says defense, I have gotten everything. That is the place of mediation in business disputes. Lastly, mediation gives you a long-lasting solution. What do I mean by a long-lasting solution? It is almost impossible. Let me not say it's impossible. Let me not say it is 100% impossible. So that's why I'm saying it is almost impossible for a mediation agreement to be appealed on when it has become a consent judgment. Like I said earlier on, when you're done with your mediation process, you take it to the courts and it is endorsed. Court interviews both of you and endorse it in the open court as its judgment. It's almost impossible for one other party to begin to appeal against it. Why? Because it was a consent judgment. It was not forced down your throat. So the essence or the place of mediation in business disputes, it gives you a long-lasting solution. I've never been a bench person. By bench person, I mean I've never really wanted to be a judge, sit at the bench. Even by God's grace, I had 2 opportunities. But, this mediation journey that I now say I want to do it formally, apart from, participating in it as a lawyer, I want to do it formally. I'm actually working towards, by God's grace, becoming a mediation judge. And it's so beautiful because it's so fulfilling when you get to settle disputes. People that came, tearing each other down, you're able to settle dispute with them, within the shortest 3 sections. Mediation, the maximum section I've had in mediation is 3 sections, and it's just, some is 2 weeks adjournment, 1 week adjournment, and you are done. The 4th place of mediation in this property business dispute, why do I keep saying property? This is not your property channel, precious. Sorry guys. Is that it is cost effective. Now people say it's cheaper, but I, as a trained mediation advocate, will tell you that it is cost effective. Because if you go through the regular courts, you're going to pay your lawyer professional fees. For those of us that are into litigation, we're going to charge you mobility and appearance fees per court section. I'm not saying it's not going to be charged in the mediation section, but for those that are into litigation, I have inherited cases and I've handed over that case file to somebody else. I've inherited cases and handed over it to somebody else. You understand? And I have inherited cases that even while that case started in court, I had not dreamt of becoming a lawyer, and I inherited the file and still went on with the case. What I'm saying in essence is the regular court should be your last resort. Of course, anywhere in the world, the court has the final say. The court is the final place that you can go anywhere when you have disputes, and that is why even after mediation, you still need the court to endorse it because of its constitutional authority and inherent jurisdiction that the court has. The court must also endorse that to make it the final decision. But what I'm saying is, just walking into the regular court to sue, mediation is faster, is cost effective, and it saves you time and resources. Because you cannot, for example, you did a litigation, you have a litigation issue, and then you come and then, I say, your litigation, let me look at it, the case is not too contentious, so to say, do 1 million, 1.2, depending on the nature of the case, million. For example, before people will run away and say I charge plenty money for litigation. And you definitely do not think that after 5 years we are still in court, that your 1.2 million is going to suffice. You have to do a renewal of a fee, even if it's not going to be that amount. So, and when next you're coming to court, you cannot determine it. When next you're going to go to court, that is the regular court now, if your matter is adjourned for report of service, for example, and you have reported service, and you now want to take what we call in the court a trial, they need to come and say your story in a layman's language. That's the simplest way I can explain it. Say your story. the date that is convenient for you will not be convenient for the other lawyer, and the date that is convenient for both of you may not be convenient for the judge. So you cannot actually say this is when I will come back. It is subject to overriding convenience. That's how we put it in court. Subject to the overriding convenience of the court. But in mediation, there is a standard for it. You can't go beyond highest 2 weeks section. You must come back for the second section. All the mediation I've ever done, all through my years of practice, is just three sections that we have had. And after that 3 sections, is either you settle or you go back to court and continue your case till thy kingdom come. So mediation is cost effective. It is faster, like 100% faster than using the regular courts. And it saves you time. It saves you stress, because there is no guarantee that if you go to the regular court and you've obtained judgment in your favor, that you'll be able to execute that judgment and just enjoy it, because people like us, we want to go to appeal, we want to appeal the matter. Not like us, let me not put myself in bad name, but if your client is not satisfied with the judge, with the verdict of the judge, it's not to go to court of appeal. And we all know, number one, our judicial system is slow in Nigeria. That's one. 2, if we are to go to court of appeal and the court of appeal now, overturns the judgment of that lower court or the high court and now rules in favor of the defendants. You understand? Probably we are the one that appealed and now says, no, that judge shouldn't have made that decision. Now makes the decision, now overturns the decision of the lower court and says it's in the favor of the other party. We too will go to court. We will go to the Supreme Court, and there's a Supreme Court matter that we're handling, and we've been in it for close to 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken. The one that we filed in 2019 in the Court of Appeal, here in Lagos Division, in Court of Appeal, we haven't even gotten a hearing date. We filed since 2019. We have filed. We've exchanged. What is this thing called? We've exchanged our brief of arguments and all of that. We've done all of that. We've put our records of proceedings to the Court of Appeal. We have not gotten a hearing date till today, since 2019. And it is even if it is not like there was a judgment. It was an application. It was an application that was made. We are the claimant in that case. We filed for our client, and there was an application that the defendant brought that we took together, like about 10 of them that we dragged to court, companies, and they brought a PO, preliminary objections of certain things, and we counter it, and the judge ruled in our favor, and they were not happy with it, and decide to go to Court of Appeal. So if the Court of Appeal now decides to give us a date, we have to pen the matter. We have to pen the matter at the High Court. And whenever the Court of Appeal now agrees with what the judge has said in our favor or disagrees, it doesn't say agree, that's why we'll now go back to the regular court. Already I'm tired of the case. Oh, my client is not online. We'll say, hey, lawyer, precious, you're tired of my case. Anyway, we don't know that it's even his case because there are many cases. You understand what I'm saying? So we filed since 2019. We have not gotten a hearing date. We don't even know the exact court they've assigned the matter to, whether it is Court of Appeal 2 or 3 or 1. We don't even know. We've not even gotten a particular court assigned to. We've not even gotten no stock of a hearing date. COVID now came. We filed 2019. COVID came. After COVID, NSAS came. Now we are trying to get back ourselves. Strike. They just called it off. So all of this are things that you need to put into consideration and opt for mediation instead of going to the regular court first. I always tell people, let the regular court be your last resort. Probably mediation failed, arbitration. There will be a time I'm still going to talk about arbitration too. Is another means of alternative dispute resolution. Maybe when these things, this mechanism of this window of ADR failed woefully, then you can now decide to now spend your time in court. I tell people, we are lawyers. Whether the court sits or not, whether there will be adjournment or not, we are still going to make our money. So which is better for you? And that is why I always, when clients are coming that, lawyer, I want to sue this person, say, I go to law court. I'll say, no problem. Sorry for using Yoruba in case there are international people watching. I said, there's no problem. But I will try to sit down and dissectify your matter and tell you, why don't we opt for mediation? Let it now fail. And let me now say here, at this juncture, if you practice in Lagos or you're transacting business in Lagos, the Lagos State High Court Civil Procedure Rules of 2019 states categorically that in civil matters, you must first explore mediation as a pre-action step before you can even file your case. In other words, if any lawyer file case and carry my client to court, if I like, I will do a PO, preliminary objection. If I do not like, I will just stay on my own. When you get the judgment, I will go to court and apply for court to set aside the judgment on these grounds. So for the court rules of Lagos State, and very soon other states will compete, for the court rules of Lagos State to say you must try mediation first for certain civil matters, so please note what I said, it's not for all matters, certain civil matters, business, property, real estate, and all of that, certain matters, and for you to try mediation first, it simply means that it is faster, is better for you. Because really, there's sometimes I'm in court and they call some matter and they begin to do trial for it, and I'm like, this matter shouldn't even come to court in the first place. They can easily settle this matter. This will be very, very contentious matter, very complicated matter that cannot go to court. And may I say too at this juncture that there is no matter that is too complicated that cannot be resolved during the mediation section. Okay, so when you look at all of these advantages concerning mediation, you will discover that it's better to explore it. It's better than going to file a petition at the police station and trying to put an iota or as some iota of criminality in a purely civil contractual agreement so that you can get your money fast. And then you will not decide to still go through the regular courts. If, for example, you're claiming 100 million naira from a third party or a second party, and you are in a regular court for 10 years, please tell me, the value of 10 million naira, 100 million naira 10 years ago, does it still have that same value today? So why don't you explore a better means to get your money out in time? How can you now explore? My final note today is, how do you now explore mediation? It's very simple. If you are the type that listens to us lawyers, you know that keep telling you have an agreement, whenever you're drafting your agreement, which I always say, ensure that it is your lawyer that drafts your agreement. Whenever you're drafting your agreement, make sure that you put a mediation clause in your business transaction. Now, let me tell you, as a mediation advocate, that even before arbitration clause, people that are well inclined in drafting business agreements, that knows corporate law and knows how to draft and review contractual agreement, knows that they put mediation first even before arbitration. I'm still going to talk about arbitration later on. That's to tell you that mediation is more cost effective, is faster, is easier. Okay? So, one best way you can explore mediation in your business dispute is to ensure that all of your business agreements, even if it is form, as long as you sign it, let it have a mediation clause on it. And let it be drafted by a lawyer that is inclined in mediation practice. That's one. Two, secondly, on Monday I'm going to be releasing a video on why how did I couch it? The video is ready. I was very busy to upload this since last week. How did I couch it? Why you should have a mediation clause in your business agreement. Please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, just click on the link in my bio. If you are on Instagram and my Facebook people, there's a link in the description page. Just click on it and you will see the YouTube channel, link to my YouTube channel, or just go to YouTube and just type Precious Studio. My channel is going to come up and then you click to subscribe. I'm going to be releasing a video first thing on Monday morning concerning mediation clauses in business agreements. Those are the ways you can assess mediation during business dispute. Now, somebody can ask, okay, what if I don't have an agreement? Beautiful, you contact your lawyer. You contact your mediation expert, contact your mediation advocate, which I am. And to file for you. You see, somebody had an issue, a real estate issue with a client. And there was a mediation clause in that agreement. Unfortunately, I didn't even come into the matter in time. And as at the time he engaged me to come into the matter, it had already gone into the police hands. And when I looked at the agreement, I said, oosh, the mediation thing, if the guy had, involved a lawyer from the day go, it's very easy just to quickly file your mediation stuff, and when it gets to the police, it's already going through a mediation section. I is a tip I'm not supposed to be giving on this live section, but that is a way that you can actually assess mediation. You can include a mediation clause in your business and contractual agreement. You can actually work in, and the beautiful part of it is that during the time that the court was burnt down, and during the shutdown period that the court was not really sitting before we started doing virtual proceedings, the mediation section was going on. Like, I think even during the strike, mediation was still going on. If I'm not mistaken, I will ask my friend that was with Lagos State Multi-Door Court House. I'm not really sure of that, so let me not say what I'm not sure of. But I know that during the shutdown period last year, and during that NSAS thing, that there was mediation was going on virtually. So, and like I said, the most beautiful part of all of this is that at the end of the day, you get to endorse this agreement as a consent judgment. And quote me any day, anytime. It is almost impossible to set aside a consent judgment. Almost impossible. Mediation gives you a long-lasting solution. If it's a judgment from a regular court, there's nothing that says that matter cannot be appealed. That judgment cannot be appealed. It can be appealed to the Supreme Court. So when it gets to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court gives its final verdict, that marks the end of it. But do you know how long it takes to do a matter at the Supreme Court? Some lawyers that handled matters at the Supreme Court died and left the matter. The parties died and left the matter. It's the children and the chambers that inherited it. You wouldn't want all of that, where you can easily assess mediation. Okay, let me take my drink before I say my final conclusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, I think it's because I'm watching The Voice, so that I heard the song last 3 or 4 weeks ago that I'm singing. I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that the place of mediation in business disputes cannot be overemphasized if you can try to explore it using your legal counsel. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me tonight. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section and I will attend to it. Do not forget, Wednesday is the last day of the month. And when it is the last day of the month, what is it? QS and AS, or Q&A with Lawyer Precious. That is questions and answer section with Lawyer Precious. Every last day of the month, I am online, both on Instagram and on Facebook, the way I am. And you get to send a request. I add you, you come on live with me, you ask your question, we talk about it, I remove you, add another person will have opportunity to ask me a question. So it's Q&S with Lawyer Precious this Wednesday. The time 9 p.m. now. You know, Lagos traffic, we have to go out to hustle first. And then the Lagos traffic, we need to get home refresh, we need to have a fresh face when we are coming online. So that's basically it. So finally, please, I want to appeal to you guys out there. I always use this saying, do not be penny wise, pound foolish. What you can resolve, I know sometimes is pride, I know sometimes you just feel no court, but you see, you need a lawyer that has a good understanding, a good years of experience in this thing, to actually explain to you how the best things to go, best way to go rather. I have been in court litigation. I have done litigation all through my almost 10 decades of practice. All through my almost 10 years of practice, I have been into litigation. I've done litigation and mediation side by side, and I can tell you first-hand information. Mediation, boo and bay, is the best way to go. The only time you should go to court is to enforce the mediation agreement that you have had, or when the mediation turns down woefully, it breaks down woefully, both parties are aggressive, both parties are arrogant, both parties are not ready to resolve. They are too proud. You know, Nigerians that are too proud. On that note, no problem. Anywhere you want it at the mediation court, you want it at the regular court, I'm home and dry. But on a lighter note, that was on a lighter note, sincerely, you must explore mediation. Learn to explore mediation in your business disputes. It's cost effective, it's faster, it's better for you as a business person. And finally, after the whole mediation thing, you can still be retained as both of you can still be customers, both of you can still do business together. That is the bigger picture I want you to understand as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a founder, as a partner. Disputes must always happen in business transaction. Disputes happen in your private life. So dispute cannot be ruled out in business transactions, in contracts. But how you resolve that dispute will determine whether your company or business is going to come down, whether that person is going to come back to you to patronize you. The best way to go about it is to explore mediation mechanism. So, I hope that you have taken home something tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Don't forget to join me 9 o'clock on Wednesday for Q&S with Lawyer Precious, and do not forget to join me every Saturday with live chats with Lawyer Precious. My name is Precious Teji. Thank you for joining me. See you next week, and do have a blessed and wonderful day. If you're just coming online, you can watch the replay either on Facebook or Instagram, or you just go straight down to my YouTube and balance and watch it. All of my live section videos are uploaded on my YouTube channel. You can also watch them on my IG live section. The choice is yours. Always remember, irrespective of the business or entity that you run, legal structure is the ultimate. I am your one and only, the Structure Lady. Bye. Good night and God bless you. Okay. Are you kidding me? People are online on Facebook, and I'm just seeing them. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Itam, Mrs. Itam. Thank you. I'm just seeing you guys comment. Goodness.